Sharks, with their not-so-great eyesight, mistake humans for a sea snack and decide to investigate with their teeth. There are more intense encounters that feel like being part of an underwater horror show, especially when it happens in the deeper or coastal waters. Most shark encounters occur in shallow water, where humans moving around might be wearing a sign that says, "Confused seal impersonator." It turns out sharks aren't always on the hunt. Sometimes they're just the ocean's overly curious, slightly myopic locals trying to figure out what we're doing in their neighborhood. Here are 6 stories of shark attacks. In the Pacific's embrace, beneath skies of endless blue, seasoned aviator Mark Harrison prepped his seaplane for an ascent. It was a flawless morning in 2005, on the bustling Isle of Kailua, alive with tourists keen to explore the ocean's splendor from the skies. Pacific Skies Tours, under Mark's helm, was celebrated for its unparalleled aerial excursions, and this day promised no less. The ocean's clear depths foretold a stunning display of underwater life, from vibrant coral gardens to the elegant ballet of dolphins. Yet beneath this allure, a hidden menace awaited the unsuspecting guests aboard. As they ascended, the cabin buzzed with the joy and conversation of the passengers. Among them were Sophia Bell, an intrepid photographer, and the Jenkins couple, David and Laura, commemorating their love. Unbeknownst to them, a shift from enchantment to a struggle for existence was imminent. Gliding over the glistening sea, Mark showcased the wonders of the Pacific. Enthralled, the passengers captured the spectacle, unaware of the looming shadow beneath. Suddenly, a monstrous great white shark, driven by an ancient hunger, surged from the deep, targeting the seaplane with its gaze, a blend of lifelessness and ferocity. It struck the plane with devastating force, causing a wing to fail and throwing Mark into a battle for control. Panic ensued within the cabin as the aircraft spiraled into the ocean's grip. Mark's voice, both steady and pressing, sliced through the fear, guiding everyone to brace and secure their life vests. As the plane began its descent into the depths, the grim reality set in. With a shark prowling below, their adventure had turned nightmarish. The shark, intrigued and provoked by their presence, remained a lurking threat. Quick action was imperative. With the plane flooding, Mark initiated an emergency evacuation. The jammed exit door left them with only the emergency hatches for escape. As the cabin filled with water, Mark, with David's assistance, managed to open a hatch, exposing the chilling sea. One by one, they exited the sinking plane, hearts racing with dread and adrenaline. Mark ensured all were out before diving into the shark-infested waters himself. Adrift in the ocean, they clung together, their life vests a thin barrier against the abyss. The shark's ominous silhouette circled them, with Mark's guidance offering a glimmer of hope. He advised calm and minimal movement to avoid attracting the shark. As time wore on under the relentless sun, the likelihood of rescue waned. The shark's constant threat underscored their vulnerability in the vast sea, yet Mark's resolve never wavered. Utilizing Sophia's camera's reflective surface, they signaled for help. By some stroke of luck, a passing ship noticed their signal. However, as rescue neared, the shark made a final daunting approach. Mark's quick thinking, using debris to distract it, bought them crucial moments. The rescue team's timely arrival saved them, pulling each survivor to safety. As they were rescued, the calm sea belied the horror it concealed. Safely ashore, the survivors experienced a flood of relief and joy. Their ordeal had bonded them deeply, with Mark recognized for his heroic actions. Yet the incident had imprinted a lasting reminder of nature's unpredictability. This ordeal reshaped them. Sophia's photos, captured pre-attack, now told a tale of both beauty and the brink of survival. David and Laura's anniversary had transformed into a deeper celebration of life. Mark's decisive leadership and swift actions had not only saved lives, but also garnered newfound respect for the ocean's enigmas. As they parted ways, the survivors carried with them a narrative of fear, endurance, and the resilient human spirit. The ocean's beauty and peril were etched in their memories, a dualism they'd never overlook. This brush with death enlightened them on life's worth and the unity required to face the unknown. Recovering aboard the rescue ship, they processed their experience, with Mark contemplating the vast sea, a reflection of his shaken essence. The event challenged his passion for the skies and the waters, leaving a vivid mark of their latent dangers. Sophia, browsing her pre-crisis photographs, saw each frame contrasting sharply with her haunting memories, adding depth to her work and compelling her to share their story of survival. David and Laura embraced each other and shared vows of love and thankfulness. Their intended celebration had morphed into an unexpected trial of their relationship, revealing the depth of their connection. The media spotlighted their survival, capturing global attention and admiration. Mark's interviews underscored his humility, attributing their survival to collective resolve and highlighting his deepened reverence for nature's forces. Sophia's photographs and narrative were featured in a prestigious magazine, her compelling imagery and storytelling captivating readers, illustrating nature's raw force against human fragility. David and Laura became symbols of love's endurance, their shared ordeal and insights inspiring many, reminding others of life's preciousness and the power of unity. In the aftermath, each survivor pursued healing. Mark returned to flying, his passion undimmed yet cautious, advocating for adventure tourism safety. Sophia's photography gained purpose, capturing survival tales, with the shark attack a constant muse. David and Laura's bond, strengthened by their trial, propelled them into new adventures, forever mindful of their life's fragility. Years later, their reunion was a testament to shared survival, comforted by mutual understanding. Their encounter with death reshaped their lives, underscoring human resilience, hope's strength, and the bonds formed in adversity. Their story, a testament to overcoming the odds, continued to inspire, a reminder of life's unpredictability, nature's dual beauty and danger, and the enduring human spirit's courage and resilience. In 2015, on the shores of Western Australia near the secluded Ningaloo Reef, Emily Saunders, a marine biologist with a deep commitment to marine preservation, embarked on what she expected to be a standard day in her conservation efforts. The Ningaloo coast, recognized globally for its beauty and ecological significance, served as a vibrant underwater sanctuary where the vast Indian Ocean met expansive sandy beaches, harboring an array of marine species. Emily's primary task involved conducting shark population surveys from the air, a critical aspect of understanding their behavior, migration, and population dynamics. She flew her Cessna 172, which had been fitted with tracking and observational tools over the reef. The breathtaking aerial view of the reef, with its myriad hues and crystal-clear waters, never ceased to amaze her. However, this flight would prove to be unlike any other, as she unexpectedly became the target of a predator's curiosity. While navigating the plane just above the water's surface, Emily noticed the distinct shadows of sharks below. Among them, a massive great white shark caught her attention. Its enormous size and the distinct scars on its white underbelly distinguished it from others she had previously studied. Engrossed in her task, Emily attempted to tag this particular shark with a GPS tracker from the air, a maneuver requiring precise piloting skills. In an unforeseen turn of events, the great white leaped from the water, its formidable body soaring towards the plane in a striking display of power. This encounter left Emily in awe, yet filled with adrenaline as she quickly climbed to a safer altitude, narrowly avoiding what could have been a catastrophic impact. This moment marked the start of an extraordinary pursuit. The great white, possibly intrigued or provoked by the plane's presence, began to shadow Emily's every move. Each time she attempted to circle back for her survey, the shark was there, tracking her path with unsettling accuracy. What began as fascination soon morphed into concern for Emily. It was uncommon for great whites to display such persistent interest. This shift in the day's dynamics forced Emily to reevaluate her mission, realizing that she had unwittingly become a participant in an unpredictable game of cat and mouse. As the day progressed, the shark's chase seemed to intensify, with Emily's attempts at evasion proving ineffective. The shark exhibited almost a predictive understanding of her movements, reappearing each time she overflew a new area of the reef. Confronted with this unprecedented behavior, Emily decided to abort her mission and return to base. The journey back was fraught with anxiety as she remained vigilant for any sign of her aquatic follower. Landing safely was a relief, yet the day's events left an indelible mark on her, sparking a mixture of intrigue and concern among her colleagues and the public. This close brush with a dominant marine predator underscored the unpredictable nature of the wilderness and the inherent risks of her profession. Rather than deterring her, this experience deepened Emily's reverence for the ocean's inhabitants and its mysteries. It stood as a significant milestone in her career, a vivid reminder of the delicate balance within nature and the thin boundary between being an observer and becoming part of the natural world's unfolding drama. Emily's unique tale, shared at conferences and in scholarly articles, became a powerful testament to the bravery and perseverance required to explore, understand, and protect the natural world. It stressed the importance of maintaining a respectful distance between human and animal domains, and highlighted the ongoing need for research and conservation efforts. Armed with a newfound caution and determination, Emily Saunders continued her work, always mindful of the day when the observer became the observed, blending narratives of air and sea into a compelling story of discovery and mutual respect. In 2012, an adventurous soul named Alex Johnston embarked on what he envisioned as the pinnacle of his solo exploratory endeavors. His goal was a secluded island gem, veiled from the common tourist's eye, hidden amidst the grand Pacific Ocean's expanse. This island, familiar only to a brave few explorers and its indigenous inhabitants, promised the pristine wilderness and isolation Alex yearned for. For this journey, Alex secured the services of a seaplane, helmed by Captain Harold "Hal" Gibson, a seasoned pilot of few words who had witnessed many adventurers in his time. Yet Alex's unwavering resolve stirred a sense of nostalgia in Hal, reminding him of his youthful ambitions. Their chosen aircraft, a meticulously kept DHC-2 Beaver, boasted reliability, the capability for aquatic landings, and sufficient space for both Alex and Hal and their necessary provisions. They set off at the break of dawn from a quaint marina close to Honolulu, Hawaii. As they ascended, the sunrise bathed the horizon in vibrant shades of orange and pink, setting a majestic scene for the onset of Alex's anticipated escapade. Their strategy was straightforward: fly straight to the island, with Alex deploying via parachute. At the same time, Hal would circle back to their starting point. Approaching their destination, the previously clear skies ominously darkened with gathering storm clouds, signaling the brewing of a formidable storm. Despite Hal's concern, Alex's anticipation seemingly blinded him to the looming threat. In an utterly unforeseen event, a gigantic great white shark, unprecedented in size, leaped from the ocean's depths right beneath them. This colossal beast soared into the air, mouth agape in a terrifying display of raw power, aiming directly for their aircraft in a moment of pure surreal terror. Hal made a split-second decision to climb, trying to evade the airborne menace. However, a cruel twist of fate intervened. A sudden, violent gust of wind shook the aircraft, causing a critical failure in the control mechanisms with a resounding snap. Plummeting towards the ocean, adrenaline surged through Alex, igniting his survival instincts. He quickly weighed their dire options, formulating a desperate plan for survival. Recalling the emergency parachute on board, Alex proposed a bold escape plan to Hal, who, facing bleak prospects, silently consented. As the shark prepared for another fearsome leap, Alex equipped himself with the parachute. Hal momentarily steadied the aircraft, granting Alex a brief opportunity to leap from the descending plane. Turbulent winds and the roaring sea below marked Alex's frenzied descent. Below, the massive shark awaited, its ominous shadow a sharp contrast against the ocean's azure. Miraculously, Alex hit the water at a safe distance from the shark. Still, the tangled parachute lines threatened to pull him under. Fighting the underwater drag, Alex struggled to release himself from the parachute's grasp. His lungs burning for air, he frantically worked the buckles and straps until he was free, propelling himself towards the ocean's surface in desperate gasps for breath. With the shore now within reach and the shark vanished, Alex swam with every ounce of his strength toward land. His thoughts raced with the prospect of survival and the incredible tale of his ordeal. The swim seemed endless, yet eventually the seabed's sandy touch heralded his arrival at the beach. Utterly spent, Alex collapsed onto the shore, gazing back at the treacherous waters that had nearly been his end. There was no sign of Hal or the aircraft, just the endless, churning ocean. In that instant, Alex realized his adventure had merely begun, setting the stage for an unimaginable tale of survival against all odds, enriched with elements of surreal unpredictability and the fierce determination of the human spirit. In a twist of fate, Alex found himself battling the elements on an uninhabited island. At the same time, questions about the whereabouts of Captain Hal and their plane nagged at him. His survival depended on finding food and building shelter. Yet he couldn't shake off the intrigue surrounding Hal's fate during his moments of respite. Meanwhile, Hal's saga of resilience was playing out. Following Alex's desperate leap, Hal had to adapt to the worsening conditions of the failing plane quickly. Drawing on his vast experience and quick thinking, he managed to perform an emergency landing on the water, miles from where Alex found refuge. The crash landing was rough, yet Hal's proficient flying saved the aircraft from being completely wrecked, and he emerged with only minor injuries. Isolated on the sea with the battered plane, Hal's prospects seemed bleak until serendipity struck. A fishing boat on a long voyage noticed the debris and rescued him. The crew was fascinated by his survival story and his encounter with a giant shark, to which Hal responded with his typical reserved gratitude, happy just to be alive. Back on the island, Alex's attempts at signaling for help were finally successful. A helicopter on a standard patrol spotted signs of life he had arranged and was surprised to discover a survivor. The rescue team was greeted with an unbelievable story of adventure and survival. Upon his rescue, a heartfelt reunion occurred between Alex and Hal in Honolulu. The encounter was charged with emotion, celebrating their survival and the unspoken connection formed through their separate trials. Hal shared his tale of survival and rescue, leaving Alex in awe of their concurrent struggles against adversity. Their harrowing experience, including the terrifying shark encounter, captured the public's imagination. However, beyond the media frenzy, Alex and Hal experienced a profound appreciation for life's delicacy and the enduring power of the human spirit against nature's caprices. Alex eventually wrote a book about their adventure, dedicating it to their unique bond forged in danger and to the mysterious island that had been their crucible of survival. The book stood as a tribute to hope, the determination to live, and the serendipitous choreography of fate. The island remained an untouched haven, a silent testament to their extraordinary survival tale. Changed forever, Alex and Hal occasionally talked of revisiting not for thrill-seeking but to honor the place that had pushed them to their limits and revealed their innermost resilience. The incident, a fusion of peril, adventure, and miraculous endurance, highlighted the inherent survival instinct within us all, and the unforeseen ways life can weave individuals together, creating lasting bonds amid the wild's vast expanse. In 2002, alongside the coast of a remote Philippine island, celebrated underwater photographer Mia Evans embarked on an expedition that promised to be the zenith of her career. This island, famed for its lush coral reefs and diverse marine populace, had caught the eyes of documentary makers and scientists worldwide. However, Mia aspired to unveil a spectacle yet unseen, the aerial choreography of sea life in their pristine environment, aiming to underscore the criticality of preserving our oceans. With the break of dawn casting a palette of oranges and pinks across the sky, Mia stepped into a compact seaplane, her emotions a blend of exhilaration and slight apprehension, for she had never attempted such a daring venture before. The aircraft, under the command of the seasoned pilot Captain Jack Reynolds, was outfitted with state-of-the-art photographic gear. Mia's objective was ambitious but straightforward: to document the underwater ballet from the heavens, venturing into a realm seldom explored. The flight took off smoothly, cruising above the transparent waters. Mia's camera was in constant action, capturing the spellbinding vistas below. The aquatic life glimmered beneath the sun's early rays, with corals painting the seabed in a riot of colors, showcasing nature's splendor. The tranquility was abruptly shattered when a massive great white shark, the ocean's fearsome predator, propelled itself out of the water, its gaping jaws a display of raw power. The shark's bulk crashed into the seaplane's pontoon with a loud thud, throwing Mia and Captain Reynolds into a state of terror. The damage was devastating. The plane began a rapid descent towards the sea's relentless grasp, water infiltrating the cabin. The shark, drawn by the commotion, began circling the doomed aircraft. Faced with the grim prospects of either drowning or falling prey to the great white, Mia's survival instincts surged. The fear that initially immobilized her now transformed into a fierce resolve to live. She quickly recalled her training for emergencies like this, including how to deal with shark encounters. As the aircraft continued its descent, Mia and Captain Reynolds hastily accessed the emergency kit. Knowing that sharks are more attracted to motion, Mia planned their quiet escape from the aircraft, hoping to go unnoticed by the shark. Seizing a moment when the shark's attention was diverted, Mia and the captain exited the sinking plane. The chill of the water clashed with the adrenaline surging through their bodies. Mia clutched her camera, not for the sake of photography, but as a potential weapon against the shark. They swam with careful, measured strokes towards a nearby reef, which Mia recalled could act as a shield from the predator. Time seemed to stretch indefinitely as they moved through the water, the shark's ominous presence a constant threat. Upon reaching the safety of the reef, they awaited rescue. Captain Reynolds, with surprising calmness, fired a flare into the sky, the bright signal a stark contrast to the tranquil seascape. As they awaited help, Mia used her camera to document their predicament, capturing images of the circling shark, a stark reminder of nature's fine balance between beauty and danger. Rescue arrived after tense hours, signaled by the flare and the plane's GPS beacon. As they were lifted into the helicopter, relief and exhaustion overwhelmed Mia and Captain Reynolds, along with the surreal acknowledgement of their narrow escape. In the wake of their dramatic rescue, Mia Evans and Captain Jack Reynolds were swiftly taken into the care of healthcare professionals. Despite the intensity of their experience, the physical harm they encountered was remarkably minimal, showcasing their adeptness and resourcefulness in the face of a sudden shark attack followed by an airplane crash. Mia had a few contusions and a slight cut on her arm, probably caused by the wreckage during their frantic escape. In contrast, Captain Reynolds experienced a mild case of hypothermia and a twisted ankle. The healthcare team immediately tended to these injuries with utmost proficiency. Following an exhaustive checkup, some necessary rest, and the appropriate emergency treatment, both Mia and Captain Reynolds were assessed as being in stable health. The quick and adept medical intervention made certain that their physical injuries would mend swiftly. However, the emotional scars from their ordeal might require more time to heal. Mia's photographs, especially those taken during their ordeal, later gained global acclaim, serving as a vivid testament to the marine world's allure and perils. Despite the terror she faced, Mia's commitment to her craft and the ocean's conservation remained undeterred, and her experience was a profound reminder of nature's unchecked force and the resilience required to face it. In the year 2009, Jake Harrington, a seasoned pilot with years of experience navigating the clear blue skies, found himself flying over the remote and vibrant waters of the Caribbean. His mission was a routine one: transport essential supplies to a secluded island outpost, a dot on the map known only to a few outside the local area. This island, shrouded in the mysteries of its past, was a place where the lush greenery of the tropics met the unyielding azure of the sea, a stark contrast to the bustling cities from where Jake had flown. The day started like any other, with Jake performing his pre-flight checks on his trusty seaplane. This reliable aircraft had seen more of the world than most would in several lifetimes. The sun cast a golden glow over the cockpit as Jake prepared for takeoff, the gentle hum of the engine promising another successful journey. However, what awaited Jake was far from the mundane routine he had come to expect. As he navigated over the open water, the tranquility of the flight was shattered by an unexpected adversary, one not of the sky but of the deep below. A massive great white shark, an apex predator with power unmatched by those who dwell in the ocean's depths, launched a ferocious assault from below. With unprecedented force, the shark tore through the aircraft's hull, a testament to nature's raw, unbridled power. The serene flight had turned into a harrowing fight for survival. Jake, caught off guard but not defeated, wrestled with the controls, attempting to keep the plane aloft. The shock of the attack was palpable, adrenaline coursing through his veins as he faced this unforeseen challenger. Despite his expertise, the situation was grim. The plane was rapidly descending towards the water, its integrity compromised by the relentless assault. In a desperate bid for survival, Jake had to outwit the predator that sought to claim him and his aircraft. His plan was as daring as it was dangerous. Utilizing his deep knowledge of aviation and his understanding of the sea's unpredictable nature, Jake attempted a maneuver designed to distance himself from the shark's lethal jaws. The battle was not without its consequences. Amidst the chaos, Jake suffered injuries, a testament to the ferocity of the encounter. A sharp jolt as the plane hit the water's surface sent him crashing against the cockpit, leaving him with cuts and bruises, a painful reminder of his brush with death. Yet through sheer determination and a will to survive, Jake managed to execute his plan, narrowly escaping the clutches of the shark. With the aircraft heavily damaged and slowly taking on water, Jake's situation was dire. The island outpost was still miles away, and with his plane incapacitated, he needed to think quickly. Relying on his survival instincts and the emergency equipment on board, Jake crafted a makeshift raft from the remnants of the plane. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the water, Jake set out towards the island, the shark a looming threat beneath the waves. The journey to the island was fraught with peril. Each paddle struck a race against time and nature. Yet Jake's resilience shone through. Despite the pain and exhaustion, he persevered, driven by the thought of survival and the stories he would tell of this unprecedented encounter. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in shades of orange and purple, Jake Harrington's silhouette against the vast Caribbean Sea was a testament to human resilience. The makeshift raft, cobbled together from the wreckage of his once trusty seaplane, bobbed precariously on the water's surface, a speck in the vast expanse of the ocean. Despite the throbbing pain from his injuries and the exhaustion that gripped his body, Jake's mind was sharply focused on survival. The island outpost, his original destination, was still hours away under the best conditions, and his current predicament was far from ideal. The shark, a relentless predator, lurked nearby, its presence a constant threat that forced Jake to maintain a vigilant watch even as he navigated the darkening waters. Throughout the night, Jake's determination never wavered. He used the stars as his guide, navigating by constellations known to sailors and aviators alike. The gentle lapping of the waves against the raft was a constant companion, a reminder of the precarious balance between life and death in the open sea. As dawn broke, the first rays of sunlight revealed the outline of the island on the horizon. It was a sight that filled Jake with a renewed sense of hope and determination. With every stroke, the island drew closer, but so did the realization of the challenges that lay ahead. The shark, though unseen, was never far from his thoughts, a reminder of the ordeal he had survived and the ever-present danger that the ocean harbored. Landing on the island's shore was a moment of triumph mixed with relief. Jake's journey across the water, while harrowing, had ended, but his fight for survival was far from over. The outpost, nestled among the dense foliage, was deserted, a relic of a time when this remote island played a crucial role in the region's history. Using his skills and resourcefulness, Jake set about securing shelter and fresh water, which are essentials for his survival in the coming days. The island, though seemingly serene, was home to its own set of challenges, from finding food to navigating the dense jungle that covered its terrain. In the days that followed, Jake's resolve was tested time and again. He fashioned tools from the wreckage of his plane, set traps for fish, and collected rainwater to drink. Each day was a testament to his unwillingness to succumb to despair, a battle against the odds for survival. As he adapted to life on the island, Jake also took time to reflect on his ordeal. The attack by the great white shark, the desperate fight for survival, and the unexpected journey to the island had changed him. He realized the fragility of life and the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Rescue came unexpectedly, a passing fishing vessel that spotted the signal fire Jake had meticulously maintained. As he boarded the boat, leaving the island behind, Jake felt a mixture of relief and nostalgia. The island had been a harsh teacher, but in its trials he had found a strength he never knew he possessed. During his return, Jake Harrington was different from the man who had taken off on a routine supply run days before. He had faced the skybound terror, survived the wrath of the ocean, and emerged from the ordeal with a deeper understanding of himself and the world around him. His story, a remarkable tale of survival against all odds, became a beacon of hope and resilience. Jake's experience reminded everyone who heard it of the power of the human spirit, the strength found in the face of adversity, and the indomitable will to survive, no matter the challenges. In the balmy summer of 2004, off the coast of Queensland, Australia, lay the pristine waters of the Coral Sea. Sarah Wells, a thrill-seeking skydiver, found herself soaring above this azure expanse, nestled in the cockpit of a seaplane. With the hum of the engine reverberating in her ears, Sarah's heart raced with anticipation. She had always been drawn to the adrenaline rush of freefall, and that day promised a new adventure. As the plane climbed higher, Sarah gazed out at the endless ocean below, her excitement mounting with each passing moment. The turquoise waters stretched out to the horizon, shimmering in the sunlight like a vast, liquid jewel. Far below, the Great Barrier Reef beckoned, its colorful coral formations casting a spellbinding allure. With a quick check of her gear, Sarah braced herself for the exhilarating leap that awaited her. Gripping the doorframe, she took a deep breath, savoring the rush of anticipation that surged through her veins. Then, with a shout of exhilaration, she launched herself into the void, hurtling downward into the boundless expanse below. For a fleeting moment, Sarah reveled in the sheer freedom of the fall, the wind whipping past her as she plummeted earthward. But her euphoria was short-lived, shattered by the sudden realization of impending danger. As she descended towards the ocean below, a shadow loomed ominously beneath the surface, growing larger and larger with each passing second. Sarah's heart leaped into her throat as she recognized the unmistakable silhouette of a great white shark. Its massive form sliced through the water with terrifying speed, its jaws gaping wide in anticipation of the kill. Panic surged through Sarah's mind as she frantically searched for a way to escape the predator's grasp. With lightning reflexes, Sarah twisted and turned in midair, desperately trying to evade the relentless hunter below. But the shark was ruthless in its pursuit, closing in with terrifying speed. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah pushed her body to the limit, her skydiving skills the only thing standing between her and certain death. Just as the jaws of the shark closed in around her, Sarah made a split-second decision that would change the course of her fate. With a final burst of speed, she deployed her parachute, the sudden drag slowing her descent just enough to slip out of the predator's reach. As she floated gently down towards the ocean below, Sarah couldn't help but marvel at the narrowness of her escape. Despite the terror that still pulsed through her veins, she felt a surge of exhilaration at having outwitted the mighty hunter. But as she splashed down into the water below, she knew that her ordeal was far from over. With a grim determination, she braced herself for the challenges that lay ahead, knowing that her survival depended on her ability to stay one step ahead of the relentless predator that hunted her in the skies. As Sarah bobbed in the gentle swell of the ocean, she scanned the horizon with a sense of unease. The adrenaline-fueled rush of her narrow escape had begun to fade, replaced by a bone-deep weariness that settled in her limbs. But there was no time for rest, not with the relentless predator still lurking beneath the surface. With a grim determination, Sarah unstrapped herself from her parachute harness. She began treading water, her senses on high alert for any sign of danger. Every shadow, every ripple in the water sent a shiver of apprehension down her spine, reminding her of the dangerous game of cat and mouse that she now found herself trapped in. Hours passed in tense silence as Sarah waited for the opportune moment to make her move. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting the ocean in an eerie twilight glow as the darkness of night began to descend. It was a time of heightened danger when the hunter became even more formidable in its relentless pursuit of prey. With a sudden burst of movement, Sarah propelled herself forward, slicing through the water with powerful strokes of her arms. She had spotted a distant island on the horizon, a sliver of land jutting out from the endless expanse of ocean. It was her only chance of escape, a glimmer of hope in the face of overwhelming odds. But as Sarah drew closer to the island, her heart sank at the realization that it was still too far away to reach before nightfall. With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, she knew that she would have to find another way to survive the long night ahead. Turning back towards the open ocean, Sarah braced herself for the inevitable confrontation that awaited her. She had no illusions about the danger that lurked beneath the surface, but she refused to go down without a fight. With every ounce of strength she possessed, she steeled herself for the battle that lay ahead, knowing that her survival depended on her ability to outwit the relentless hunter that prowled the depths below. As the darkness of night closed in around her, Sarah's senses were on high alert for any sign of danger. Every sound and every movement sent a jolt of adrenaline coursing through her veins, heightening her awareness of the slightest threat. But despite her vigilance, she knew that the true test of her courage lay ahead, in the heart-stopping moments when she would come face to face with the monster that hunted her in the skies. The moon hung high in the night sky, casting a silvery glow over the churning waters below as Sarah prepared herself for the showdown. With a sense of grim determination, she scanned the darkened depths, searching for any sign of movement that would betray the presence of her relentless pursuer. And then she saw it. A shadowy form glides effortlessly through the water, its sleek silhouette cutting through the waves with lethal precision. It was the great white shark, its predatory instincts honed to a razor-sharp edge as it closed in on its unsuspecting prey. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah braced herself for the inevitable attack, her heart pounding in her chest as she prepared to face the ultimate test of her courage. But just as the shark lunged towards her with jaws gaping wide, Sarah made a split-second decision that would turn the tide of battle in her favor. With lightning reflexes, she reached for the nearest object within reach, a discarded piece of debris floating in the water, and hurled it toward the oncoming predator with all her strength. The makeshift weapon struck true, striking the shark squarely on the nose with a resounding thud. The impact stunned the mighty predator, buying Sarah precious seconds to make her escape. With a burst of speed, she kicked furiously towards the surface, her muscles burning with exertion as she fought against the powerful drag of the water. But despite the odds stacked against her, Sarah refused to give up hope, drawing strength from the knowledge that her survival depended on her ability to outwit the relentless hunter who pursued her with unrelenting ferocity. As she breached the surface of the water, gasping for breath, Sarah felt a surge of triumph flood through her veins. She had faced down the jaws of death. She emerged victorious, defying the odds to claim victory over the fearsome predator that had hunted her in the skies. But even as she savored her hard-won victory, Sarah knew that her ordeal was far from over. The open ocean stretched out before her, vast and unforgiving, its depths hiding countless dangers that threatened to claim her life at any moment. But armed with courage and determination, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that she had triumphed over terror and emerged stronger than ever before. With a defiant smile, Sarah turned towards the distant horizon, her spirit soaring high as she set out on the next thrilling adventure that awaited her in the boundless expanse of the sky. As she soared into the unknown, she knew that she would never forget the harrowing ordeal that had tested her courage and resilience to their very limits, forging her into the fearless warrior that she had always dreamed of becoming.